What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Shooter's Roll. Right, we're here. I haven't slept much because there's so much free agency movement, player movement. This is something that is brand new. So, this video we're just going to talk about all the free agent signings, our opinions, and right now we have the 3 point demon in the house. RJ, how are you?
Hey, T, what's going on, man? How's things,
Man.
everyone? Looking forward to this talk. This is so confusing. There's too many movements.
You're
Yeah,
telling me,
yeah,
man.
whatever.
You're
We can
telling
keep up.
me.
Let's try to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So I'm just going on NBA.com because there's been over, close to 70 free agent signings and trades, etc. Yeah, so we'll get through it and then we'll get your opinion, RJ, on these things. Let's say Jason Tatum. So he signed a 5-year deal. It's worth about what 165 plus incentives. It maxes out to 195. Personally, I think he's well deserved. He's basically a third, fourth year player now, and someone to build around. And the Celtics got themselves a good one. Your thoughts on that?
I expected that. I'm guessing he really is a franchise, so nothing less from the Boston Celtics. I expected them to go all out with Jason, and
Yep.
as you can tell, every year he's improved. He's upped his game. One thing or another. So don't expect anything less from Boston to offer Jason the max. So I think he's well deserved. He's
Yep.
been working out,
He's done
and you
his
can
job.
tell by his game.
Yep.
Definitely gone
Mm.
above and beyond. I think so.
Okay, so we're going to skip a couple of players, but just a couple of key ones. Anthony Carmelo back to Portland Trailblazers, just something like a bitches minimum. I'm happy with that. I'm being a Carmelo fan ever since he came out. I'm happy they're still in the league. He can't play D, but definitely he carved a role, a niche role in Portland, just being a scorer. Thoughts?
Um, I didn't know which way he was going at the end of the season, but I think the most empathetic team, not to put Melo down, because I like Melo, real hardcore scorer, but out of all places, I would have guessed Portland would have got him for another year. I
Hmm.
didn't see any other team putting their hands up to take
How about
him
the
on
Knicks?
because,
How about the Knicks? Like there could have been, it could have sold tickets, like the reunion.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know with New York. I mean, they've freed up about $40 million worth. They've acquired Nerlens Noel for 5, so they got 35 million left. So
Mm.
I don't know what the deal is. But I knew Carmelo would either go to Portland or somewhere that's just so, I don't know, maybe a real role-orientated team. Um, I was gonna say LA, but I don't think they were gonna take him on. But Portland, it was a safe bet. So I think that was sort of expected.
Yep. Okay. More notable ones. DJ Augustine for Milwaukee Bucks, 3 years, 21 mil. Probably not a big move. He's probably a bench player, especially with all the movement they had. Kent Bazemore, 1 year Golden State. He's coming back home to his team that drafted him. Thoughts?
I think Golden State is now sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel since the Klay Thompson injury, and I think if Bazemore's actually a shooter if you think about it.
Mm, yep.
So that was an expected move. They needed someone uh, close to that caliber. But what was the other one again? The
DJ Augustine.
Augustine. Well, they got rid of Bledsoe, so I think Milwaukee really now is seeking a good point. I didn't think they were going to pick up Rondo. They weren't. Rondo, I don't think was on their radar. I think
Yeah, a bit
they're
old.
really.
Mm.
Oh yeah. But with I wouldn't say old. I would place him as experienced. Hey, he playoff Rondo delivers
Player Rondo
in the
is
clutch.
everything. That's
You
it.
know what I
That's
mean?
what I
So
like.
for
Yep.
me, I'm never gonna write him off. I don't care if he plays like 30 games, but his
Mm.
presence alone makes a hell of a difference.
For the
And
playoffs. Yeah, for the playoffs.
exactly. I
Not
mean,
really for the
Augustine's
season.
old too.
Mm.
Augustine's old too, if you think about it. But with them, Augustine can shoot as well. So they needed point and they needed shooting. So I think they've got the perfect pick in DJ with Augustine in that.
Okay. I think that Kent Bazemore is kind of a He's kind of good, a good signing. He's like
It is.
he,
It
like
is.
he like he's made his money in the last couple of seasons, moving around the
Absolutely.
league. Yeah, and now he's come back home. He gives himself a chance. I guess there's a playing opportunity, right, with Clay out. That role was not promised to anyone, um, and I think Kent has a good chance. Not based on the amount of money he's got, but based on his skill set. If he comes into the camp, the preseason camp, really switched on and ready to shoot. I guess fill that void left by Clay. Definitely could win a starting spot. I think so.
Mm.
Yeah,
Did
especially
you see what happened today?
yep.
The sign and trade with Jeremy Grant. I don't know what Denver was thinking. He was a very, one of those important players in the lineup to sort of get him through the lineup.
Yeah,
Do you expect that coming?
yeah. The news out of that camp was they matched him, but Jeremy Grant asked to leave because he got offered a bigger role. So like a bigger offensive role because in Denver, right? Like he's what, third, fourth guy. That's the
Yeah.
he's gonna get shots. Like
But I think
it's
he
good.
suits that.
Yeah, I personally do. But then, like, I think like he's NBA, right? So they're trying to maximize the earning potential. So if you go somewhere that
True.
someone's gonna give you the
True.
ball, right? Like yourself for me, like, would you rather play on a team that's gonna use you? You know, you give
Mm.
like 5 shots, or do you want 20 shots a game? So, and it gives him a chance to have better capacity for his next contract, right?
True. True.
So yeah, he's young and he's just like he's trying to he's trying to get paid, and then also see how much he can earn. Like if he is where he is and he gets paid
Mm.
that after his 2-year contract, he's fine. At least he has the opportunity, right? Not everyone has the opportunity to
True.
play NBA and then also
Yes.
become hopefully a superstar. Like he definitely has the skill sets for it, and
Definitely.
he has the genes. He's got the Grant name, so
Mm.
definitely something. All right,
True.
Aussie just signed today. Aaron Baines, 2 years, 14. Toronto, I think is a good signing. Yeah, I've been following Aaron Baines for a little while. He shoots threes, and he's probably like a little bit younger version than Casal. That's going out, Marcasal. Not as I guess savvy. More of a
True.
beast in terms of aggression and going after everything. And getting
Yeah.
dunked on a lot. Hey Aaron, shout out Aaron. Like I appreciate you trying to block all
No
those
hate,
shots.
Aaron, man. Hey,
No
we
hate,
love you, man. But
but
just saying.
but it's on a post though, right? Yeah, pretty much every week.
That's right. But I mean, that's big shoes to fill. They lost Gasol. They lost
Mm.
Ibaka. I mean, gosh, I don't know. For me, that's a massive hole that they got to fill for Toronto going forward. I think that's something to be looked at. I mean, not to doubt Nick Nurse as a coach. He's a great coach. But you left, shooting, and you left a presence in the middle. So
Yeah,
both those guys can shoot, and both those guys are a presence in the middle. So that's a big gap to fill. I know Aaron starts shooting threes now, but that's two heads for the price of one. So
mm.
I don't think that's. I think they need one more that can do what they did. So I don't know. Too much movement. I don't think keep up.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't think they at the moment with how they're structured, unless they can get what you call it, DeRozan. I don't think they're really competing for championship this year with the roster they have today. Today is
As of this
Monday in
moment, oh
Australia,
yeah,
as of
yeah.
the roster set up now. So, all right, we move on. Malik Beasley, 4 years, 60 mil. I feel maybe they overpaid for him. Like he hasn't been that consistent. Denver got rid of him. He hasn't shown much in terms of that. Yeah, but I guess yeah, Minnesota thinks his asset, maybe trade asset in the future. Locked him up.
Potential's great. I think that's what they're looking at. The
Mm.
potential is great with him. Well, I think they lost Torrey Craig too. Am I correct in saying that?
Denver, yeah, they lost Toy Greg because they ran out of roster spots and money. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds like a poorly run organization.
It is.
To
It
to
is.
to to get that information out like that. Yeah, and it just shows other free agents and the existing players that are on their roster. What is this team doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, okay. So Davis Bertans, yeah, the Washington Wizards signed 5 year, 80 million. Is that
I think that's
a
another
tall power
overpaid
guy?
one.
Yeah, that's
I think that's
overpaid.
another overpaid. Hey man,
Watch the Wizards.
I,
Watch the Wizards. What the hell?
I heard Westbrook could be soft for Wall. I don't know if
Yeah,
you heard about
yeah, they've
that.
been talking about it, but you're getting rid of one problem with another problem. So
Yeah, I think
because
that thing Bertrand's is overpaid. That's too
yep,
much,
that's overpaid. Yeah, potential. Yeah, but the
without a
Washington
doubt.
Wizards are making people rich. So good on everyone for getting contracts with them, massive contracts.
Yeah, congratulations to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking he's maybe with Clutch Sports, but I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think so. I was looking at the list today. Yeah, it's mainly yeah, African Americans. Yeah, so Davis Baton, yeah, definitely. Shout out to him. Like, don't teams look at what players are worth? I don't know. It's strange. Like, if you had a player that's worth 100 mil, and you on the market they can get that much, of course you're gonna pay him a little bit more. But if
Of
no one
course.
wants his services, then I guess that's the question, right? Anyway.
That's right. That's right.
Let's look over some more significant signings. A.B. Bradley, so from Lakers, which yourself and me myself supported last year. So he made a little bit more money. He got extra year, 2 years, 11.6 million. So he got the extra point six. I guess the key thing here was the Lakers only had him for five mil for 1 year. So the report was AV was looking for more years to lock him in. So he didn't want to play 5 years, so 1 year on 5 mil, and then next year not have any contract. So
I think that's actually a win for Miami because
yeah,
they've lost Jay Crowder
yep,
and gained a good perimeter defender in Avery Bradley. But also he's a decent shooter too. Don't forget. Let's not forget about that fact. So I
yep,
think it's a win, and I think he's jumped into a really great system because I think Avery Bradley's a disciplined a disciplined ball player. So I think
he
he
is.
will
Yeah.
suit well with the system, and I think it's a win for Miami, even though they lost Jay Crowder, which I thought he was vital in the finals when you looked at his role as a shooter. He
Mm.
was he knocked the threes that needed the most. So I think it's a win-win, but we'll see how it plays out during the season.
But in terms of the Lakers losing him, losing out on him, I think it's a loss for the Lakers.
I think it's a great loss for the Lakers. I mean, my
Mm.
gosh, we haven't even started with the Lakers yet. The Lakers got rid of like
We'll
half
get
of
there.
their three-quarter of
Yeah, we'll get
their
there.
staff.
Yep.
What are you guys thinking, man? Oh my
Let's get there.
gosh.
We'll get there. Let's just go through some more key
Yeah, we'll
signings
have
that
to
we
get to
think.
that
Yep.
topic. Oh man.
uh, love to see your reactions. So Trey Burke, he was pretty much out of the league. The 76ers signed him to the bubble. He played. No, he played for the Dallas Mavericks. My bad.
Dallas
He left
Mavericks.
76ers,
Yep.
played Dallas Mavericks, and he played out of his mind with the Clippers. Like he played for his life, and now that the Dallas Mavericks awarded him with a 3-year contract. Terms aren't unreleased yet, but yeah, your thoughts on that?
Look, let's not forget. Like, I don't know if you ever saw any comparisons, but when he first played, I think when he played in New York, there was a lot of comparisons with him and Allen Iverson.
Yes.
That's a massive, that's a big comparison. But let's not forget that. I mean, the potential of this guy is it's still there. He's still good. And let's not undermine him because he does know how to play ball. He's a baller. So
Yep.
you never know. I mean, he as long as he can get within the rotation and he's used well, I think he'll go more than his potential. To be honest.
Yep. Alex Burks, so he recently played for 76ers too, and also Golden State. He New York paid him 6 mil. So d-swizzle, I'm not sure what your team is doing. He's a good player.
D-swizzle.
He's a good
Yeah.
player, but I'm not sure he's worth 6 mil. Thoughts?
D-swizzle, I don't know what your Knicks are doing, man. I think you need to pull your New York Knicks up. They're signing Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks. I said, man, I don't know. What are they signing? What are they signing? Like very medium players at the moment. Like get a star attraction player to attract people at the Garden. I did get back on the show and tell us what you think about this. Are you listening, man? I said, you're New York Knicks, dude. You guys need to do something, dude. Need to do something spectacular.
Yeah, let's look for d-swizzle to come on the show just to talk about the Knicks. Yeah, and
Please.
just that's all we need it for. Explain what the Knicks are doing, because
yes,
if I was in New York Knicks, or what they've done the last year is pretty good. Like they literally they sign minimum players. If they haven't got a superstar, literally wait for the draft, wait for free agents. But there's heaps of free agents this season that they haven't even given any offer to. You know. Like you basically got you Gordon coming out of the Celtics, and like you got a superstar that's a clean cut, good player, and they didn't even offer him anything. So we'll basically get to him. He's just further down the list, but yeah, it's just concerned.
Like I said in previous shows, New York Knicks have been rebuilding since the early 2000s. It's 2020 now. I go,
Yeah.
how much more do you want to rebuild New York? I mean, come on, man. Like, what are you guys doing exactly? I mean, you got to attract. I mean, at the moment, the crowd is with Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn have their star attractions. New York has nothing. Like, who have you got? I mean, no offense, please. I mean, if you guys are watching, but this is Barrett. I mean, dude, like, okay, that's fine. Obi Toppin, we'll see. But come on, like, who else you got? New York.
Yeah.
The aura is gone. It's gone to Brooklyn now. So, New York, you need to do something. You need to pull a wild card or something. Come on.
Yep. Let's look at some more key signings. Michael Carter Williams, ex Rookie of the Year. He stayed with Orlando. Yeah, doesn't really move the needle for that team, I don't think.
I think that based on when he scored one of his first couple of games, I think he scored 55, if I'm not mistaken, or 50.
Yeah, for a guy that can't shoot.
Yeah, but I think that's about it. I mean, he's not really a shooter. He's a point guard, if I'm not mistaken, but not really a point guard that sort of makes things happen. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
he's just a tall point guard.
Yeah, I think it's just a very standard sign, and I thought, okay, like, can he really help the ball club get a W? I mean, is he an X factor? I don't think so. So
Okay.
yeah.
You got Willie Cauley-Stein signing with Dallas, 2 years, 8.2. Yeah, it's all right. I saw him playing in the Warriors last year briefly before he got traded. There were certain plays where you can see in his eyes either he's on smoking something or he doesn't understand the play. Ajay, explain to me as an NBA player, how do you not know the play? Or second of all, why are you stoning him during the game?
Hey man, whatever people do in their extracurricular activity time is their business. But when you come to play, you got to come and play. I mean, and you got to be with your team. I mean,
Right.
This is Golden State. There's a system to run. Even if you have to pick up the crap or the garbage off the floor, that's your role. So I don't understand why, if you don't understand the plays, because if you're not a shooter, you pretty much have,
One job.
two jobs
Yeah,
to
rebound.
do. Block out and
Screen.
rebound. Yeah,
Rebound.
that's
Yeah.
it. What can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Draymond can really do it now. I think Draymond's aging. I
Yep.
think that was his job, and I don't
Yep.
think he really did his job properly. So I think that's why he's on his way out. And that signing with Dallas is pretty much to make up for the Nerlens signing for New York. So
Yep. And then,
average to average, yeah.
sure, and then even with Dallas, I guess they're missing what's that guy's name? They're missing a center. I think he got injured last year, so I think this might be just to cover for until the main guys get back from injury. Yeah.
Are you talking about Powell? Is it Powell?
Yeah, Powell. So I think Powell might be the guy there. So I think this is just a cover. 8.2, but Willie Cauley-Stein, right? I'd rather sign someone from the D League that has more upside.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, because he hasn't done much in the league, right? They signed him to the Kings, to I guess I don't know why they had DeMarcus Cousins, and then DeMarcus had that big tweet like, "What are we doing?" So it's strange that I think he's reached his ceiling. Like he's literally got to be a minimum player. He doesn't really have a skill set like that. Really, like he doesn't hustle, doesn't go to rebounds. To me personally, he's just tall, and they couldn't be bothered going to the D League or G League, and they signed him. So anyway, on to the next. On to the next signing. Jordan Clarkston, 4 years, 52. Jordan Clarkston in Utah. So this is, I think Jordan Clarkson has grown in the last 4 years. Been on multiple teams. He's carved out a role for himself. Been on Lakers, been on LeBron's old neighborhood, Cleveland, and now Utah. Like he's literally found a green light. And when he comes on, on the bench, off the bench, he's literally it's his time. Like he just clear the court. He plays his role. He knows what he's doing, and he's delivering. So this is a well deserved contract for sure.
Absolutely. I think when he left Cleveland, he really grew, and I think he pretty much found his team that he can be comfortable in. And
Mm.
as you can tell, when the playoffs played, he got given the green light to shoot, and there was no backlash. So I think it's a well-deserved contract. He's really grown since he's been with LA. So it's a good signing because he can shoot and he can deliver. He can deliver buckets pretty much.
Yeah, like he's carved as well. Like you look at the guys before him, the guys coming off the bench, just score like double digits, right? Double digits into the mid-teens, and if he gets that, he's pretty much doing his job. Let's talk about another bench guy, Pat Covington, Collington from the Milwaukee Bucks. So remember for the slam dunk competition, he basically dressed up as Why We Can't Jump, got the hat on, 3 years, 16 mil. He's a good athlete. That's all I give him. In terms of NBA talent, it's still to be questioned. And now that they're cleared out most of their bench players, I think he might have a bigger role in terms of maybe third guard off the bench. So might have a shot here, but that's pretty good for him. 3 years, 16 mil. Yeah.
Athleticism-wise, he's very athletic.
Yeah.
But I'm yet to see a lot more from him because I think he's very limited with his minutes. And yeah, you were right because they were quite stacked even going down the bench. So now they've got rid of some of those contracts. It probably moves up the ranks.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets a chance, carve out a role for himself. Next one also is a Milwaukee Buck guy, which we just mentioned, Corey Craig. So just a note, he actually played in the NBL. That's our Australian league. Yeah, so shout out to him for him to come to Australia, play for a while, and then make it back to the NBA. It can happen. We need an import in Sydney, so imports come to Sydney. We lost our main guy. We lost Tate. Yeah, so he's a defensive stopper. I'm not sure if the Milwaukee Bucks have enough offense to help. They did have a good couple of signings, but I would have liked more 3-and-D guys. Like you think about what the Houston's doing, like the Lakers, they have a bunch of 3-and-D guys, like guys that can get a basket. And if they're playing for 5 minutes, if they don't get in the basket, let's try the next guy. Let's try the next guy. Let's try the next guy. There's always going to be guys going to be making baskets, not making baskets. Your thoughts on Torrey Craig?
I just think it's all part of the system. I mean, there's certain teams that are like that, but it depends on the culture and the system that they can put in. I mean, and how they approach the game. I think with Milwaukee, it's just pretty much Giannis is the sun, and everyone goes around the sun. And then but I think they need to have a system where they're very disciplined, like Miami. I mean, if they have a system like that, I mean, they're all quite tall if you think about it. But are they effective stopping like stopping offenses? But I don't know. I mean, look, for me, Miami's not that tall, but yet they're very effective in their defense and their offense. So again, it's a culture thing, and I think it's a system thing. So I think I'm not saying it's the coach. I mean, maybe the coach needs to bring more philosophies to the team. But we'll see this year. I mean, if they get the best record against the East, I don't give a damn because to me, getting knocked out the first round, don't mean jack. So
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully this year, it'll move forward. But I think after this year, if they don't make it past second, third round, I think you can say bye-bye to the coach, and I think Giannis is going to start looking elsewhere.
Yeah, just being on that, it's been my coach's hat on because Coach Lloyd's not here. When I know that I'm coaching against a team that we're going to see in the finals or the playoffs, I'm going to play a certain way against all the teams we play against. Let's say I've qualified for the playoffs, all right? So I won 50 games in the NBA. And then every game I'm going to play like I'm basically playing the teams that's going to play Giannis a certain way. You think about the last 2 years, right? The guys that made it to conference final, the Miami and the Raptors, they built a wall for him, right? So you can simulate it yourself. Like, just say Giannis, when you drive, don't drive and dunk, drive and kick out, or drive and pull up. And in that way, if he does that for because this season we've got 72 games, if he does that for at least 22 games, that probably don't matter. Nights that there's a blowout or nights that, you're going to lose or whatever, or they're resting players. The coach has got to implement that during those games, right? Like you think about Pat, all the good coaches out there, all the good coaches do that. Like, doesn't matter if you lose the game. Like, you lose the game, but you win the war. It's like,
Absolutely.
you really need to get the Bucks in a motion where Giannis is not scoring 40 points, 60 points, whatever, to win the game. If he's scoring 20 points and you're winning, and you're winning in a certain style, that's getting you ready for the playoffs. The coach has not proven that yet. He hasn't proven it at all. Like when he was on the Hawks, same thing.
Mm.
Like best record, 4 All-Stars, like first, second round loss, and the same thing's happening here. So hopefully he can change and he can continue being the coach. If not, then yeah, they need to get someone else that can do the job.
They need a contingency plan to back up for Giannis going down. So they need
Yep.
all the other guys that they signed up to pretty much just give them the green light to just let them have free will to just bomb it. But it just depends on their taking their approach. I mean, again, if you're gonna get the first place in the East, don't even look at it. Just see how you go in
Yeah.
the playoffs. So,
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You look at I guess the Lakers and you look at Golden State. Like Golden State got the 70, like the 73-9, but then they realized when did win the championship, what's more important is the way you play and investing, and then having like the type of game that you have to win rather than just trying to win games, right? Because winning the playoffs is much harder than in the season. So
mm,
cool. We'll leave that for now. Jay Crowder, we mentioned him already. 3 years, 30 mil. That's a good signing. Yeah, like Jay Crowder's literally become a sniper, the 3-and-D sniper. Like if you look up the dictionary of 3-and-D, he's basically one of the guys that you love to have, like strong guy, guard LeBron, and hits open threes.
he's redeemed himself since he left
Cleveland,
Memphis.
I think. Memphis, okay.
Oh, Memphis. Like
Yeah.
he was okay in Memphis. Yeah, Cleveland he wasn't that bad, and Memphis he was okay. But since he's gone to Miami in last season, I think
Yeah,
he
found
really
himself.
embraced his role.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think supposed to really utilize him properly, and that's why he's able to shine. And now he's got a better contract. So, but I think
Yep.
Miami really wasn't willing to pay for him more. But it's just I lost him because when Jimmy needed buckets, and he needed a shooter, Crowder was there. So, hopefully Avery can bring something as strong to the table to make up for that. I mean, it's a win-win situation, but Crowder was actually quite good fit in Miami. But let's just see. Hopefully Avery is just as the same.
Yeah, so it's a loss to Miami, but I guess they signed Avery, so I guess that's kind of like a win loss win, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Goran Dragic, here comes the name. 2 year, 34 mil. This is pretty good sign. It allows them to keep a healthy or a fan favorite, and then also allows them the flexibility because second year is not guaranteed. It allows them to go after Giannis after next year. Thoughts?
Well, they have to re-sign their leading scorer, don't they?
Mm.
So
Especially Jimmy wanted him, so yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, their key nucleus is Jimmy, Dragic, Bam, and Tyler. So they need those four to lead the way and have a strong backing. So I think signing with Avery is a very good backing too. Put in the nucleus to sort of get ready for the playoffs.
Yep.
But I think that's a good lineup going forward. They needed Dragic definitely.
Yep, heart and soul at the moment. Coming off the bench and leading the scoring. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It just needs to stay healthy. Hopefully they can breeze through the season and give him a lot of rest. In the playoffs, it was pretty much a battle, so he had to play full game. Not having none available was pretty tough for them. Cool. And Chris Dunn. So he signed 2 year Atlanta Hawks. So defensive player. Yeah, coming up to Chicago. Okay, signing. It's good for him.
I think
it's not going to move the needle.
Too,
yeah. So James Ennis, shout out. James Ennis played for Perth. He signed 1 year with Orlando Magic. I think that's a good signing. He's a good player. He's got an old man's game. Does his job 3-and-D. Probably does it at an average clip, but a good guy you got coming off the bench. Derek Favors coming back to the Jazz, 3 year 27. That's that's homecoming for him. Yeah, just been in Jazz where he got drafted. He got traded from Brooklyn to the Jazz for the Williams deal back in the day.
Mm.
He moved on to the Pelicans, and now he's back. It's pretty good. Good solid player.
Yeah,
He's like double
solid play.
guy,
That's right. Yeah,
double
yeah.
guy. Like you can rely on him. Um, doesn't really get beaten on defense. Offense, he does his job. Puts backs, mid-range jumpers. Yeah,
Mm.
solid guy. Solid signing. Another max player, Darren Deontay Fox. That's it. Deontay Fox, 5 years, 163, with incentives 195. Pretty much similar to what Tatum signed. Thoughts?
Well earned. I mean, that guy, to be honest, since he's come into the league, I think pretty much had a chip in his shoulder, sort of with, I think when Lonzo got signed ahead
Lonzo.
of him,
Yes.
I think he had a chip on his shoulder to prove that he was better. I can't go against a Ball brother because I'm a Ball fan. But
Adopted brother.
I gotta say, Fox earned his money. I mean, the guy.
Mm.
Look, they may not have a winning record, but he's tried to will them to win, and he's really done his best. I think it's well earned. I mean, the guy has really balled out, since he got drafted. So well deserved, to be honest with you.
Yep, definitely. Well deserved. I remember when he played against Alonso in college. He lit him up for about 39 points.
Yeah. Look. Lonzo. No. Listen. This is fact.
Yeah.
This is fact. If you look it up. But that's when Lonzo's mum had a stroke. So
Okay.
and their Ball family member was there because they were there for them. They were looking after their mom. So I get it. That's cool. Like.
Yep. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not making excuses for Lonzo, but I bet. But if that happened,
What happens to everyone? It happens to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know about that timing, but yeah, it's cool. That's why we're here, Ajay. Dropping the knowledge.
Yeah.
So you got Denaro Garo. 3 years, 65, 61. Played for OKC.
Danilo Gallinari.
Denaro Gallinari. There you go. If I can, yeah. So he went to the Hawks. Like there was a bit of drama with him because he said that he will sign less for a championship. But I think everyone has a limit, right? So 20 mil a year compared to like 5, I guess is too much money for him. Like I was thinking he might sign with the contender, take a discount year. But yeah, I think that's a lot of money to leave on the table. The Hawks, they've signed a lot of players. I'm not sure about the fit.
A lot of good players.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of good players, but we'll see how it fits together. Hopefully they.
Yeah, we've seen really great on paper, but the execution is not necessarily great. So, but look, they've got Rondo.
Yep.
And I think if they respect Rondo's opinions and philosophy, I think they'll do better this year. But and it's good for Trey because Trey will learn a lot from Rondo.
Yep.
But, it all depends. But I think Trey's a good guy. I think he will learn. He will listen. So,
yeah.
Look out for Atlanta this season. I'm going to be tracking them this year because considering they have, Gallinari who can get buckets. He's still a decent shooter, and they've got Rondo as I would say the backup point, and some other players that they've got. I mean, they've got good pieces. There should be no excuses. So we'll see how good Atlanta is this season.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the young players, especially Trey too, this is opportunity for the franchise to show that they want to win, right? You think about all the young players in these teams that haven't won, they leave because the franchise hasn't shown the ability to sign good players and wanting to win. They just want to collect checks, make money, and then the young guys just move on. So this is definitely a step in the right direction if they want to keep their stars. So.
But that's the thing as well. But it depends on the destination. I mean, not everywhere's going to be attractive to people to play with. Like apparently, like Toronto's not a very attractive place to be to want to play at, but some people still decide to go there. Charlotte is another place that's not a really good, but now they've got, they've got
Ball brother.
There now.
Your ball brother.
So I think that's something.
And Gordon Hayward.
You said Gordon Hayward. So this is a start. Look, I don't think highly of Gordon Hayward, but it's still something. So I think this could be a start of something, really great. But we'll see.
Yep, we'll see. So moving on. We'll skip the Laker guys. We'll talk about the Laker guys a bit later. Harry Giles, 1 year Portland. Harry's been a disappointment. He's played for Sacramento. I watched a documentary on him on his college, so in high school. He was a beast, but he had all these injuries. Um,
Oh,
I've been waiting for him to show his potential, become a star. Yeah, I think when someone has a documentary of themselves, not sure if it's done by him or someone else, yeah, you kind of want to see that feel good story where they make it, they become that player that they want to be. So
mm,
I feel like he's under. Like I think with Kings, there was too many players ahead of him. Portland not going to be different. Portland's going to have some expectations to make the playoffs, and then you got a lot of bets. So it's good that he's still in the league. That's the way Harry's got to see it. Like he's still in the league.
that's
He
right.
still has opportunity to make his mark.
Mm,
All you need is
that's
one
right.
good game, right? You make one good game, you score 30, 40, whatever, or solid 10 points in a string of games. When someone goes down, that's all he needs to basically to make his mark.
That's right.
Jeremy Grant, we mentioned him already, 3 years. Pistons, yeah, I don't know what the Pistons are doing. They signed a couple of weird players. I'm not sure about the fit, but yeah, we'll leave it at
True.
that. Jeff Green, just signed today. He signed with the Brooklyn Nets. Good signing for them. Yeah, he's pretty much a 4-5 with the modern
That's a good
NBA.
signing.
Yeah, with the modern NBA, he can shoot threes at a high clip, like 38 to 40%. Yeah, in terms of that minimum player, that's what he's got the last 4 years. Yeah, good signing for them. I think, yeah, if you need some stretch and you're down, you can get him on the court. Offense can make a three, and it also has a link with KD playing in OKC, making it to playoffs. Yeah, I think the year before the playoffs. Yeah, more heartless. Get to Miami. Good defensive guy. 3.6. Yeah, I think it's good both ways.
Mm.
Another Lakers guy.
Ariza.
Yeah,
Ariza going back to Houston.
has he
The most
signed?
traded guy in NBA history.
They hasn't he moved on now from OKC now? They moved him on. I'm not sure where his last spot is. They moved him on a couple of times the last couple of days.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
I just can't keep up with his trades. My gosh.
yeah. It's crazy, right? So another good signing, a notable signing. Joe Harris, um, Brooklyn Nets, 4 years, 75. He's a lights out shooter.
Oh,
He
yeah.
lights out shooter. He played
Good
for Team
pickup.
USA. He played for Team USA. Although they lost to Australia. Shut up, Boomers. Um,
Mm,
but he played well. He played well. He did his job. Shot threes, played good D.
that's right. That's right.
They need him. The Stars need him to hit shots, and he's the right guy. The money is pretty fair.
That's right.
He's earned it, and he's grown from the time he had with LeBron in Cleveland. Like
Cleveland.
when you first saw him, like he struggled, but when the Brooklyn went young, and they had Russell and they had himself, and then all the young guys, Allen, that year when they made the playoffs, they came eighth. That's where all these guys made their money. So it shows like even if after your first year you don't play well, just keep in there, keep at your craft, and you basically there's an opportunity. There's always opportunity knocking on the door every game you play.
That's right.
Yeah. So we mentioned him. Yeah, Gordon Hayward, 4 year, 120 mil. You don't think that's a great signing because of the injuries? Personally, I see the Hayward that played in Utah. If he didn't have that freak injury on like opening night, Cleveland, playing against Cleveland, and he broke his ankle. You look it up on YouTube; it's pretty gross. As a basketball player, you literally, or normal player or normal person, you throw up seeing that his leg spin a different way. Yeah, so he's been 2 years out of the injury. You think about Paul George; it took him about 2 years to get back to who he was, to have confidence, right? So this is going to be a big deal. Apparently, MJ called him directly, so
Wow.
MJ doesn't call
That's
anyone.
huge.
Yeah, and think of the history of Gordon Hayward, right? When he was a free agent 2 or 3 years ago, and he signed with the Celtics, Boston Celtics. He also had a deal. No, before that, he had a deal with Jordan, and then Utah matched the first one. This is before he signed with Boston a couple of years before. So yeah, Michael Jordan sees something in him, and they forked out because you think about these franchise teams, right? Like we talked about, Bucks. No free agent is going to sign there unless the money's not there. Like you think you're a big free agent, right? And you expect the max. Like if the max got dried up everywhere else, and you still want the max, of course you got to go to a team that's got to have the max, and the location's not gonna be that great. But it's going to be the last location. Like everyone wants to play Miami, LA. They want to play in the sun, right? Because you think as a basketball player, the sun's good for your legs, good for your body, the recovery, warming up, warming down. You know, it makes a difference. Like watching, we read articles about the older guys playing basketball, right? They prolong their career by going to a warmer location. So these things matter in terms of longevity in the NBA, right? And probably when you're older. So I think it's a good signing for MJ. There's no free agents knocking on Charlotte's door. This is the way they had to do it. This is why I'm upset about New York. New York didn't even put an offer to him. Like, he's a good player. It's strange. Like New York, they got the $35 million cap, and they're not signing anyone. Like maybe they're waiting for next year. But it's just strange where they haven't released their plan for their fan base.
They've been waiting for next year for the last 20 years.
Yeah, man. So Knicks are Knicks. Yep. Just go through the list. Ronnie Hood, good listing. Dwight Howard, bit strange one. 2.6 mil, 76ers. He tweeted that he was gonna sign with LA.
Then he goes to Philly, and I'm like,
the story here.
Yeah.
The story here was it was a conceptual signing. It was like, hey, Dwight, what do you think of a 3.5 signing? Guarantee 1 year. Wait for us. We'll call you. We basically need to get owner approval, or probably LeBron's approval. GM LeBron. Yeah. So, but then at the same time, like, we'll get into it with the Lakers, but they were trying to sign another player, right? So then I think that was the priority. And then with Dwight, apparently he waited an hour and no call back from the Lakers. And then the 76ers was pressuring himself and the agent to sign. He goes, this deal is not going to last if you guys waited longer. So they knew that there was an opportunity to get him away, right? So they took advantage of it. And then they had Joel Embiid call him. Like, you know, they put the pressure on this.
I don't think that's a good thing, to be honest, in Philly, because from what I hear from Jimmy Butler, you know, Philadelphia culture is not that great on winning. I think it's all about the individuals. So I think Dwight will go back to the way he was in, like Orlando or something like that. But he has experience to bring to the table. Hopefully they listen to him. Hopefully, you know, he can bring something to the table and help them, you know, push another round in the NBA playoffs. But I don't know. I don't see Philadelphia doing anything. I think that was just a waste.
And the thing is, right, if he waited for the Lakers, why not just call LeBron? Say, look, dude, what's happening? Like, you know, because there's two things he wanted, right? Two things he wanted. He wanted to sign, be in the NBA, and he wanted a guaranteed contract, and that's what the Lakers wanted to give him. They just told him to wait. Yeah. And this him or his agent, one of them couldn't wait, and he signed a non-guaranteed contract with the team that's less chance of making the playoffs or winning championship. And then he tweeted that, and then I felt like he ruined his reputation in that he built last year in literally two seconds. 2 seconds of being stupid. Like, you know, and again on Twitter, everyone's like having memes of Kobe Bryant calling him weak, like leave LA. It's a pity, right? Because and it's like Dwight Howard's a good guy. He just has bad reputation or just bad decision making. Like, it's just you won a championship with the Lakers.
But again, it might be misunderstood. So I don't want to play on it too much. But still, I think he should have waited. He should have stayed in LA. I don't think it would have been great for him to stay with there, because at least it shows dedication, it shows loyalty. And I understand. I think the big factor is, of course, is the money. I understand that. But I think. But
he's made a lot of money, man. He's made a lot of money, and it's about ego, right? The ego. Then he's made like hundreds of millions, right? He's made over 100 mil in his contract.
Yeah, but I think he's got child support to pay. So I think he's got to. Yeah, I think he's got
multiple kids, multiple mums. Yeah, and
I think it's 5 for 5. Not with
and but his fiance, she's in LA, so.
I'm a bit disappointed with that. I really want him back. I want JaVale to stay back. Oh my gosh, man.
Personally, that's what I wanted. Like last year when they signed Dwight Howard, I was really happy. D-swizzle didn't understand why, but after they won the championship, you see why. So Serge Ibaka, 2 years, 19 mil. This is a surprise. Like Serge
Yeah, I do.
tweeted out he was on the plane with the caption going somewhere, and he drives, I guess, his followers nuts to figure out where he's going. Like, people think he's going to Celtics. People think he was going to like the Bucks or wherever, and he ended up being the Clips. So just literally replacing a player that was out the door. In Montrose, how so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did you see that? Pat Bev even tweeted, it's like, what?
yeah,
He
yeah,
wasn't happy.
yeah.
But
We'll get
you
to
know what?
it. Yeah.
That's actually a gain. So they
Mm.
lost Montrez and gained Surge.
Yeah,
That's a plus.
But
That's
he's
a good
basically
plus.
he's basically more of a floor spacer because he can shoot threes
Yeah.
and then he can block shots, play better D. Yeah,
Presence in the middle.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like when they struggled against Denver, right? Because Montrose couldn't guard the Joker. Serge won't have that problem. Serge's got the length, the size, and the
That's right.
mobility, and also can get him back on offense, shooting threes. So
Absolutely.
it's definitely a good signing. Let's
Without a
Yep,
doubt.
skip the Laker guys. That poor miss-up, come back from Denver, 10 mil. It's a pretty good story. This is probably his last big pay. Good vet,
Yeah, I think so.
good vet. I'm surprised that he signed with Denver. I thought they'll go young. Yeah, and then keep Torrey Craig or something, or like Grant, but it is what it is. Another max signing, which is a good story, was Mitchell Donovan, same contract as Max 163 with incentives at 195, 5 years. I saw this on Twitter today, and he jumped in the pool, so he had socks on. The Twitter world has gone nuts because he has socks on. He literally threw out his phone. He jumped into his pool. His pool's pretty tiny for a multi-millionaire, and literally he nearly hit his head. Nearly hit his head on the side of the pool. Yeah, I watched it. I had to watch it over again. I'm going, dude, they just signed him. Imagine you're the Utah Jazz and you saw that. You're like, oh fuck, my asset, my asset nearly just went hospital.
We have to put that waiver on his contract.
Yeah, definitely. Like the comments coming out of the Twitter world was, I think he's gonna buy a bigger pool, so it won't happen again. And second of all, why are you wearing socks? But that's but that's all the haters out there.
Hey man, you sound like that, man. You can wear your onesie to the pool.
You can do whatever he wants, man. He literally he won the jackpot.
But
and
that's
he
well deserved.
Yep.
Well deserved. Well deserved. After the playoffs, after I saw him, man, the guy really rose to the occasion. He
two
really
50-point games. 250-point games. Yeah.
Well deserved.
They didn't win. They didn't win, but he did everything he could. He left it all on the floor.
That's what the franchise wants. That's what the franchise wants, and he did it. So he deserves it.
Any team will love that. Yeah. Another key signing, Marcus Morris, 4 years, 64 Clippers. I think it's a good signing. Yeah, it's a good signing. Pretty standard. What he's worth. He played well for New York. Yeah. But his role has to be more defined. Him coming in late in the Clippers was a bit of a mess. Everyone was just making up minutes and just trying to play around the superstars. Hopefully this year under Tyronn Lue, the role is a bit more defined. Yep. So, and then you got Jameer Okafor signed 2 years, Detroit. That's why I don't understand what Detroit's doing. They're signing these okay players. I'm not sure. Either you rebuild or you basically what this team's gonna come 8th or I don't know, come 10th and be in the play-in. I don't know. Like you've got a lot of players there.
What they can get. I think they're only getting what they can get. I mean, it's unfortunate they don't have that star power to attract. So I think they just get what they can get. I mean, to be honest, but they're still doing better than New York.
True.
True. Man, I'm just joking. Come on the show and defend yourself.
You got Patrick Patterson, Clips, good signing. They haven't released how much he got paid, but I think it's a good signing. Keep a couple of players is good. And there's another one. See, Mason Plumlee for 3 years, 25 mil, and Detroit Pistons. Plumlee's not gonna shoot threes. He can't shoot jumpers. He's a good guy. He's a good guy for minimum, right? But he plays hard. But yeah, it doesn't move the needle for me. Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
The Knicks, Austin Rivers,
What?
3 years to 10 mil.
Oh well.
3 years, 10 mil.
That's it. It's game over. It's playoffs now. Nah, just joking. No, I don't know. Well, the only positive that I can see here is that he's gonna wear his dad's number. So that's about it.
Yeah, cool.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, you got another one we mentioned. Lakers, Rondo going out 15 mil. Hawks, it's good for him. Like literally, he could have stayed with the Lakers, but they probably wanted him to
That's right.
sign the minimum.
Mm.
He's looking to get paid. Like his career is kind of ending, so just
Yeah,
get paid as much as you can, right?
that's right.
That's fine. That's fine. He helped the Lakers win the championship. That's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
Yep. Jeff Teague to Boston, backup point. They probably need a backup point.
They do.
Doesn't move
They
the
do.
needle, but he's consistent. That doesn't turn the ball over much. Yeah, good sign. Tristan Thompson to the Celtics, Boston Celtics, 2 year, 19 mil. I think it's a good sign. They don't need any
I think
more
it's a good sign.
shooters. They don't need. They just need
Yeah,
a big
he
body in
doesn't
the middle.
he doesn't demand the ball. He's just there to pick up the scraps and lay it in. So that's a good pickup. You need someone in Boston that doesn't require the ball and just
Did
pretty much
you,
picks up the scraps.
as a Lakers fan, did you want him to be in the Lakers?
Um, well, to be honest, when they lose both McGee and Dwight, they need someone who can hustle and grind, and I think that's what they lack at this moment. And I know they got Montrez, but Montrez is on and off.
Yep.
So I think it would have been a good fit. And I think they would have got him for less. And I think he would have gone because, number one, LeBron's
Clutch.
there. And,
Yep.
yeah, and also because, he would have had a better chance to win a championship. So I don't know. I just feel like they should have got him. They should have got him.
Yeah. Maybe it's a clutch thing. I think we should have episodes just talking about clutch clients.
Oh,
Yeah, it will be a good
if it's going
episode.
this way,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, maybe get Ben on. Denzel Valentine, 4.7. Chicago Bulls just keeping their free agent. Fred VanVleet, man, 4 year, 85 mil, well deserved.
well deserved.
Biggest contract with an undrafted player. Fuck,
That's
killed
pretty
it,
good.
killed it. Like
He's worked himself hard. You can tell.
yeah, he like with his performances against Golden State last year's final. Man, he pretty much won the championship for them. So
Except for the last play. But apart from that, then no.
yeah, I was expecting him to miss some of the shots. I guess for Golden State, I was going for Golden State at the time, but yeah, he kept on making them, and he made it difficult for Curry to get off. So yeah,
Well deserved.
85, well deserved, man. Yeah. So a couple more signings. Brad Wanamaker from the Boston Celtics came over to 2.2 to Golden State. I think it's good sign. I watched him in the bubble. He played really well. Like he's really solid contributor. Minimal
Right.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Good defense. He literally earned this contract in the bubble. Played really well. Like they signed him late just for the bubble, and now he's playing for Golden State, which is a team that just signed what's his name? The forward, small forward. They signed him for 15 mil, but with the penalties, with the penalties, there's an $80 million payment. Yeah, just to make up for Thompson. So, yeah, let's get to it. So then the last one, I guess, on the list is Kristen Wood, 3 year, 41 mil from Houston Rockets. He has a really good upside. Yeah, really good upside, Kristen Wood.
Yep.
So I'm surprised that it was just for Detroit, wasn't he? Yeah, I was surprised they let him go. But hopefully he gets a shot at Houston with the outgoing superstars, or if they're outgoing, or disgruntled superstars.
The question is, who is he playing with? That's right. So we'll see.
Cool. Thanks, guys, for this episode. Tune in for the next one. Subscribe. Subscribe, and we'll be discussing the Lakers in the next podcast.
See you guys. Have